Welcome back, everyone. It is time to pull the tri-tip off of that reverse sear. We're heating it up, so let's head on out. We'll grab our platter. So we want to pull it off, let the grill get nice and hot, and then at that point we will put it back on. So we're going to take a look here. There is our tri-tip and our potatoes. Our tri-tip should be right around 130-ish in the middle. We'll take a look when we get inside, but just by feel I can tell with the tongs that we're right about there. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to take the artichokes and have them and coat them with olive oil, and then we'll put those on the grill as well. So let's bring this down. Let's take a look at, I have a digital thermometer somewhere. Here it is. So we'll take our digital thermometer, we will stick it right into the center of the meat. I can just tell though, just with the tongs, that that we're at least at 125. So let's take a look, we'll all watch together. So I'm looking for almost 130, I think, is that kind of perfect medium rare. And all we're doing is getting a quick sear on the outside. Boy, I hope it doesn't go up too much more than this. Oh yeah, we're in the single degrees now. So we'll probably be right around 129 in the middle. 128.78. Yeah, I mean, we're right there. We're close enough. I don't think we overcooked it too much for sure. So now we'll get the artichokes done. Let me pull this guy out. Watch that in a minute. With the artichokes, I want to use a little bit of a heavier duty knife to get through it. So here is our knife. I'm going to move this cutting board just a little bit this way. For this, I'm just going to slice off part of the bottom here. It is fibrous, so just know it's not going to be the easiest thing to slice through. You know what, I'm going to grab my good knives. I think it'll be a little bit better. So here we go. I'm going to slice it in half, and then we're going to coat it in olive oil and put it on the grill. So I really want to kind of find that spot that I'm going to go halfway through the heart as well. So I'll find a spot, and I think that's probably it. You can use a serrated edge knife as well, and that will be fine. So we have our two halves. For this part, we're going to leave the choke, which is all of this fiber stuff in here, on. After we grill it, we'll remove the choke before serving. So I'm going to go right about down the middle. So this is going to be enough to serve 6. My 13-year-old has said that she does not like artichoke. She is the vegetarian. So yeah, we're gonna have some leftover. And you can see it's already basically cooked. I mean, this leaf just fell right off, and you can tell just by sticking your thumb in there, if it leaves an imprint fairly easily, it's done. So this is one of those things that you can pull off with your teeth. But it'll finish up nicely on the grill. So I'm going to take the 6 halves of artichoke. I'm going to drizzle them with olive oil. I'm going to use a different olive oil though, that it's just really the container more than anything. I have a little bit more control over it in the smaller container. So I'm going to make sure I'm coating the whole inside. This is the only side that I'm going to be putting down on the grill at extremely high heat. So it should get a really nice grilled flavor inside of this. And this Traeger, the nice thing is at high heat, I'm going to be up in the 450, 475 range. So it will get some nice black grill marks on it. So just like with everything else, season, season, season. I'm gonna go salt and pepper. Any other finishing things I'm gonna add at the end. I don't want to cook them off here. If I wanted to add Parmesan cheese, that would be just fine. All sorts of things you can go with, but just salt and pepper, olive oil. If I was on a regular grill that would get hotter than this, I would stay away from olive oil because the smoking point's low and it can burn. But for this, it is just fine. So let's take another trip outside, shall we? Alright, so this guy's taking a little while to get up to a temp that I'm happy with. I wonder what's going on. So these Traegers run off of wood pellets. You can see that there's plenty of pellets in there, so I'm going to take a look there. The other thing I look at with these Traegers, sometimes the fan underneath will stop. So I actually go into kind of selfie mode. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing here. So there it is. So here's selfie mode. I'm going to go under and I'm going to look at the fan, and the fan is still running. So I'm okay with it. Here's our artichoke. Our potatoes are here. Now you can actually see the olive oil is bubbling. This is great. This looks really nice. I'm going to scoot them over just a bit. And these artichokes I'm going to take, leave them face up until the very last second, and at that point I'm going to place them face down on the grill. They will immediately start to drip some of that olive oil off. That will catch the drip pan and smoke up immediately, and that is no problem. So there's our artichokes, there's our potatoes. As soon as I close this lid, I'm going to try and get this all the way up to 450 at least, and then I'm going to put that tri-tip on just to finish it. So we're coming back in. This one doesn't take a whole ton of manual labor. It's nice. I mean, we all grill for that exact reason. This Traeger is, I don't know, it's kind of hot and cold. You have to make sure that you learn all the little tricks with it. Always make sure that you have plenty of pellets in here. Always make sure that that fan is running. And then the other thing you want to do is clean it regularly. So I go through, you can actually see there's a drip bucket here at the end. And let's see, it catches most of it, but you have to still go through and make sure you're washing the rest of it out. All right, so while all that's going on, we're going to be a few minutes. I'm going out to the garage, and we are going to go into the wine fridge and pick out a really good wine for tonight. So we have a little bit of wine in here. So I always use my phone as a flashlight. So with a tri-tip, we're looking for something that has body. I have a plenty of pepper in the tri-tip, so I don't need a super peppery wine. I actually want something kind of fruity, fruit forward. So I'm definitely, California is a great way to go. Bordeaux is a really good way to do this. So if I'm looking Bordeaux, I have a whole ton of Rhone wines down here. Tablas Creek, which I've mentioned over and over again, is my favorite winery for the price. I have a lot of Tablas Creek in here. But I think we're going to stay away from that and probably go with something a little different. Why don't we go super special tonight? So I think, I don't know, this might be the guy. So this is from Napa. It's a winery called Dariouche. This is a 2008 Napa Cab. I don't know. I also have, let's keep looking. I also have Chateau Montelena Estate up here. I do have, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, we're not going to touch this. This was Wine Spectator's Wine of the Year a couple of years ago, and I'm going to let that sit there. We have Del Dotto Cab. Let's see. We'll find something here. So Monolena 2005, that might be good. I have Justin Isosceles, small bottle. You know what? I think we're going to go Dariouche. Why not? Let's spoil ourselves tonight. This is an excellent wine, so let's turn this flashlight off. So super full-bodied. It's going to be fruit forward. It will have kind of that eucalyptus-y note that all of Napa has with the cabs. It's so funny. We did these blind tastings when I was taking my sommelier training, and during the blind tastings, there were times during the training part of it, not necessarily during the actual exam, but during the training, we would see, all right, was that cab from Napa or is it from Sonoma? And there was this really distinct difference for me in a Napa cab versus Sonoma cab, and the eucalyptus is kind of what gave it away. A lot of people call it bell pepper. I do not like when they say that, because really bell pepper is typically an imperfection in the wine, and if you're really truly getting a bell pepper flavor in a cab, it's probably not what the winemaker was going for. Green notes are fine, just not overly green. So that, let's see, tri-tip is right here. So it is basically fully cooked, and now all we're going to do is that whole reverse sear method, and we're going to put it back on the grill for just a couple of minutes. One thing we can do if we really want to crank it up and get a little bit of black on the outside is, even though it's already been marinated, even though everything else, I can just give a little tiny drizzle of olive oil or butter, and that will just kind of help that searing process and help a crust form. Other than that, I'm like where we are. I think we're good. I mean, shoot, everything's doing its thing. Potatoes are going, so let's head back out to the Traeger. So this, by the way, the wine that I pulled out, we're going to leave it out at room temperature for at least 10 minutes before I serve it, because it was being held in a wine fridge at 57, 58 degrees, and we don't want to serve it that cold. That perfect temp for red wine is about 65. Any warmer than that, it's too warm. Any cooler than 60, and you're not getting the full flavor and aroma of it. With white wine, surprisingly, a lot of people drink it way too cold. You don't want it straight out of the refrigerator. Most good white wine is meant to be in that 45 to 50 degree range. I mean, shoot, I've had some really good whites in the 55 range. All right, so we are cranking now. Here goes the tri-tip, right back on. You can actually hear a sizzle, which is a good sign. You see the potatoes going, it's a good sign. I'm gonna bring my little wooden spatula back out, and we're gonna move those potatoes around. The one thing that'll happen there is we'll have the bottom of the potato kind of adhere to the pan and get a really nice layer, but we want to make sure that we're getting it on all sides. So let's see if we can do this. So there's our potatoes. I'm going to use the tongs to hold it in place. I'm just going to give it a quick little move around the pan. I might do, because it looks like this barbecue nut might not be perfectly level, is rotate the pan so that the oil kind of moves with the gravity both sides. Alright, so we're spreading that back out. I'm trying to keep this open as little as possible. That'll close, and everything has about 10 minutes, if that. So we're gonna let the meat go for probably 4 or 5 minutes on each side. I'll pull that off. The meat needs to rest for at least 7, 8, 9 minutes. We want all of the juices to stay in when we cut it, or as many as we can. So things we can do are clean up, have a drink, relax. I mean, the grilling's awesome. That's why summer's so great. So I'm not going to keep you on here with me. I'll come back a third time and we'll slice and plate, and so we'll see you in about 10 minutes. Bye.